Respected friends, welcome you all. Wonderful day today, day of the great celebration for we, the Sanatan Dharmins. It is of the Festival of Lights today. So let us start with our Vedic chanting of Rayana Suktam today. Then very short discussion we'll have in our class. Om 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 Sahanavavadu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 ॐ सहस्रशीर्षं देवं विश्वाक्षं विश्वशम्भुवं विश्वं नारायणं देवमक्षरं परमं पदं विश्वतः परमान् नित्यं विश्वन्नारायणं हरिं विश्वमेवेदं पुरुषस्तद्विश्वमुपजीवति पतिं विश्वस्यात्मेश्वरगं शाश्वतगं शिवमच्युतं नारायणं महाज्ञेयं विश्वात्मानं परायणं नारायण परो ज्योतिरात्मा नारायण परः नारायण परं ब्रह्म तत्त्वन्नारायण परः नारायण परो ध्याता ध्यानं नारायण परः यच्च किञ्चित् जगत् सर्वं दृश्यते श्रूयतेऽपि वा अन्तर्बहिश्च तत्सर्वं व्याप्य नारायण स्थितः अनन्तमव्ययं कविगं समुद्रेऽन्तं विश्वशम्भुवं पद्मकोशप्रतीकाशकं हृदयं चाप्यधोमुखम् अधो निश्चावितस्त्यान्तेनाभ्यामुपरि तिष्ठति ज्वालमालाकुलं भाति विश्वस्यायतनं महत् सन्ततगं शिलाभिस्तुलं भत्याकोशसन्निभं तस्यान्ते सुशिरगं सूक्ष्मं तस्मिन् सर्वं प्रतिष्ठितं तस्य मध्ये महानग्निर्विश्वार्चिर्विश्वतोमुखः सोऽग्रभुग्विभजन्तिष्ठन्नाहारमजरः कविः तिर्यगूर्ध्वमदशायैरश्मयस्तस्य सन्तता संतापयति स्वं देहमापादतलमस्तकः तस्य मध्ये वह्निशिखा अणियोर्ध्वा व्यवस्थितः नीलतो यदमध्यस्ताद्विद्युल्लेखेव भास्वरा नीवारशूकवत्तन्वी पीताभास्वत्यनूपमा तस्याः शिखाया मध्ये परमात्मा व्यवस्थितः स ब्रह्म स शिवः स हरिस्सेन्द्र सोऽक्षरः परमस्वराट् ऋतगं सत्यं परं ब्रह्म पुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाक्षं विश्वरूपाय वै नमो नमः ॐ नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णुः प्रचोदयात् ॐ हिरण्यवर्णां हरिणीं सुवर्णरजतस्रजां चन्द्रां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावः तां महावः जातवेदो लक्ष्मीमनपगामिनीं यस्यां हिरण्यं विन्देयङ्गामश्वं पुरुषानहम् अश्वपूर्वां रथमद्यामस्तिनादप्रबोधिनीं श्रियं देवीमुपह्वये श्रीर्मा देवीर्जुषतां कांसोऽस्मितां हिरण्यप्राकारामार्द्रां ज्वलन्तीं तृप्तां तर्पयन्तीं पद्मे स्थितां पद्मवर्णां तामिहोपह्वये श्रियम् ॐ सिद्धलक्ष्मीर्मोक्षलक्ष्मी जयलक्ष्मी सरस्वती श्रीलक्ष्मीर्वरलक्ष्मीश्च प्रसन्ना मम सर्वदा ॐ श्रीमात्रे नमः. Friends, today our common sense thought is simple one, that is today is the day of festivals, Deepavali. So Deepavali is celebrated, as you all know. Bhagavan Krishna has eliminated the Narakasura or Bhaumasura, then released those 16,000 women who were captured by him. It is said that it was his idea to marry 1 lakh women at one time. So he was going on defeating the kings, threatening, frightening, killing them, and kidnapping all these women folk. So, having heard about Bhagavan Krishna saved Rukmini and so many, So they write to him also, request him that we are also here bound. O Krishna, liberate us also. Then Bhagavan Krishna goes along with Satyabhama and all. So he eliminates that Narakasura and gives freedom to all of them. No, they all also once got freed. Then Bhagavan Krishna, they took a chance that we don't want to go anywhere. We want to be with you. So Bhagavan said, welcome. So that's how all those 16,000 people released and the whole families got freed from all those dukkha, misery, and that total darkness of misery from their life has gone away. That is why this celebration of this festival happens by lighting the lamps and deepas. And then, as a symbol of destroying the negative, that is, the crackers, etc., are made. So, these are all the happened stories, is no doubt about it all. That's why as a part of those families only, thankful to Lord Krishna for saving them and us that we celebrate this Deepavali every year, reminding ourselves that we owe a lot to Krishna, and also, if at all we have problems anytime, we can go and surrender to Him, and then He can bless us, protect us from problems. More than that, if we are surrendered to Him right from the beginning, He will see to it that no problems, no tensions, no worries will come in our life. Okay, so this is the story aspect of it. Then the things to be learned are what? Plenty, plenty. First thing is what? Actually, the place where the Narakasura, Bhaumasura was there is called as Pragjyotishapuram. Very interesting name, na? It is somewhere in Assam, they say, in today's world. So Pragjyotishapuram is, earlier it was full of Jyoti or the light. Or Prag also means opposite to Jyoti, you can say, which is nothing but the darkness itself. So, in the darkness of ignorance, okay, which is opposite to the light, this terrible Rakshasa, Narakasura. What is Narakasura? Naraha ka ayanti. Asura means asusuramante. Means those who live at the level of body, senses, for their bhoga, for that they are ready to destroy anyone. That's called as asuratva. This asura is Naraka Asura. So Naraka, we all know about so many Narakas described in all our Puranas. So this fellow used to create Naraka for the people here itself. That's why he's called Narakasura. Bhaumasura, he is the owner of the entire Bhumi. In fact, he is said to be Prithvi Matas and Varaha Avataras, Santati only. But then, what is the Naraka? Naraha Kayanti means the one where people continuously say Ka. Ka means miserable. Ka means in that technical Sanskrit way of saying is always they are in pains, in miseries, in troubles, in distresses, in disappointments, in dejections, in so much of Dukkha Sagara. So this one Narakasura created dukkha for so many lakhs and lakhs of families or people, let us say. So here is where who are those 16,000 technically, symbolically are our own variety of thoughts and emotions. Isn't it? We all are said to have the 16,000 of varieties of thoughts and emotions. So therefore, what is the whole symbolic story? I, the Narakasura, when all my thoughts, 16,000 variety, are there only for my selfishness, and then I am slave to them, then first I suffer and I also give suffering dukkha to everyone else. So when our these thought modifications are freed from the clutches of the ego, and when they all get wed to the Lord divinity only, then there is first the liberation to this naraka in us. So to liberation to the people around us, because of us they don't suffer. Then who can do it for us? Only Lord Krishna can come and eliminate the ego in us. When the ego is eliminated with its selfishness, then all our thought patterns, all our life, all our living becomes wedlocked to Bhagavan himself. Understood? When the ego in us with its selfishness is eliminated, all our thoughts, all our actions, everything are wedded to Bhagavan Krishna. So that day when we decisively, surrender to Bhagavan Krishna, he is the day of full of lights in our life. So here the lights is what? When our thoughts are flowing toward Bhagavan Krishna, Krishna Krupa comes to bring that lights in our life, the light of wisdom, the light of knowledge. You know that when the Jnana comes in our life, no more the Ajnana, then Ajnana Janita, Dukkha can trouble us even a little also. So, story wise, history wise, there Bhagavan's arrival, elimination of the Rakshasa. So, too, in our life, too, both ways. When we invoke Lord Krishna in our life, He will eliminate the Narakasura in us and also He will give light in our life. In another way is what? When we surrender our ego, then the Krishna will come in our life to light the lamps. Or like those women, when they have surrendered to Krishna. In the same way, if all our thought flow is consciously directed towards Bhagavan Krishna, by filling our hearts with the light, Bhagavan sees to it that the futility of the ego is understood and we give it up. Once the ego gone, we are no more Arakasura, we are the givers of happiness to ourselves and everybody around. So, in this way, Deepavali spiritually is the festival of all colors, lights, and joys with the sounds. The sounds are the Jnana Yukta Veda mantras. So, in this way, beautifully, the outer Deepavali can be celebrated as it is done with the lighting the entire house or the place with the lamps. So, too, the worship of Bhagavan Narayana as well as Mother Lakshmi, inviting everyone, wishing everyone. While doing all of that, feel it's a spiritual symbolism also. So either surrender ego to Krishna or give up the ego or invoke the Krishna in life or like those women have done, invite the Krishna to your life to remove all the problems. So then remember always the arrival of Krishna in our life is in the form of the sounds, that is the Shabda Jnanam, and in the form of the light, the Anubhava Tattva Jnanam. When we receive knowledge from the gurus, when we make it a guiding light in our life, understand Deepavali is happening in our life, Krishna's grace is fully there in our life. So wish you all the best. Have a happy, safe, colorful, wonderful, joyful, cheerful, beautiful, blissful, soulful, divine Deepavali. Wishes to all. So this is one thing today, common sense thought. And our mantrocharana also, we do it from our Upanishad today, Deepavali. So therefore the mantra of the light. That is, the pure conscious Parabrahman is such that none of the intellect, nor the mind, nor sense organs can illuminate it. It is the presence of that conscious light which is making us aware of these upadhis and also giving the required empowerment to these upadhis for them to function. So this meaning giving mantra, which is there in Kathopanishad, which is there in Mundaka Upanishad, which is there in Bradarnaka Chandogya, well quoted. Even in text like Gita also, same meaning giving shlokas, Bhagavan says. No, by the time I have hinted you, you must be very clear about what must be that mantra, which is generally done in a Vedic way of Mangala Arati also. So the mantra goes like this: Om Natatra Suryo Bhati Nachandra Tarakam Nema Vidyuto Bhanti Kutoyam Agnihi Tameva Bhantam Anubhati Sarvam Tasya Bhasa Sarvam Idam Vibhati. See, Natatra Suryo Bhati, in that Brahma Sthiti, Surya will not illuminate him. So Surya is here the buddhi pratika. So intellect cannot make the Paramatma as a concept. So na tatra suryo bhat. Na chandraha. Chandra is the symbol of mind. He is Adhisthana Devata. So the mind with all its imaginations, projections also cannot catch that Paramatma Tattva. Na Chandra, na Tarakam. The Tarakas are all our Indriyas. None of the Indriyas which are capable of catching Shabda, Sparsha, Prasagandha cannot catch Paramatma who is beyond all of that. So, na ima vidyuto bhanti. So the vidyut is the sound it is. Sorry, Nema Vidyuto Bhanti. Vidyut is the variety of thought flows. So any number of thoughts of whatever the sort you have, they also cannot catch the Paramatma. Then Kutoyam Agnihi, the Agni is the Vak Devata. So therefore the words also cannot describe. So the words cannot describe, thoughts cannot illuminate, the emotions cannot catch it, the intellect cannot make it as a concept, the buddhi cannot understand Paramatma. He is beyond all of that. So Kutoyam Agni, then Tameva Bhantam Anubhati Sarvam. So one is in the light of that Paramatma only, all these are made to be known. So Tameva Bhantam Anubhati. Then Tasya Bhasa Sarvamidam Vibhati. It is in his light that all these also get their capacity. Like the Paramatma Tattva is in me, therefore the intellect is able to think, the mind is able to feel, the sense organs are able to see, the Vani is able to talk. So in this way, this Vedic mantra talks about the pure reality only as the light of all lights. So Tameva Bhantam Anubhati Sarvam Tasya Bhasa Sarvam Idam Vibhati. A beautiful mantra. We'll just chant it for 8 times. Right, friends? Start. Om na tatra suryo bhati na chandra taragam nema vidyuto bhanti kutoyam agnihi tameva bhantamanubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Om na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kutoyam agnihi tameva bhantamanubhati sarvam तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति ॐ न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति ॐ न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाते ॐ न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाते ॐ न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति ॐ न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति ॐ न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति. That's a beautiful Veda mantra of lights on this delightful day. Let's do our Upanishad, only one mantra. We'll do literal meaning, little of Bhashyam. So celebrate your festival today. Om 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 Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Om Yairime Gurubhi Purvam Om Shankaram Shankaracharyam Om Nidhaye Sarvavidyanam Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Om Bhavayeva Bhavaniti Me Nitaram Samajayata Chetasi Kautukita मम वारय मोहमहाजलधिं भव शङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्। ओम ब्रह्मानंदम परम सुखदम परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मत् गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्वेताश्वतर उपनिषद आचार्येभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्य बोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातन धर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थं धर्म संस्थापकानां निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिव कृष्णादि मंदिरादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तर शत्रुघ्न समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक हैन्दव संस्कृतेः धर्ममोक्ष पुरुषार्थानां सुसंप्रतिष्ठा अवाप्त्यर्थं अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्म सुदिग्विजयः तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थं कृष्णयजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम नित्यानंदं निराधारं निखिलाधारम् अव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकण्ठं नमाम्यहम्। ओम अथ षष्ठोऽध्यायः। Friends, what a beautiful was the chapter 5th one. We have concluded it. We have to start this study of the 6th chapter. So, yesterday we chanted few mantras per hour. Parayanam, oh, in this again, the 14th mantra is that only which we have chanted for our dhyana today. So, let us chant the mantras from 9 onwards for Parayanam. ॐ न तस्य कश्चित् पतिरस्ति लोके न चेशिता नैव च तस्य लिङ्गं सकारणं कारणादिपादिपः न चास्य कश्चित् जनिता न चादिपः यस्तन्तुनाभ इव तन्तुभिः प्रधानजैः स्वभावतः देव एकः स्वमावृणोतो स नो ददाद् ब्रह्माप्ययम्। ओम एको देवः सर्वभूतेषु गूढः सर्वव्यापी सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा कर्माध्यक्षः सर्वभूताधिवासः साक्षी चेता केवलो निर्गुणश्च एको वशी निष्क्रियाणां बहूनाम् एकं बीजं बहुधा यः करोति तमात्मस्थं येनु पश्यन्ति धीराः तेषां सुखं शाश्वतं नेतरेषाम् नित्यो नित्यानां चेतनश्चेतनानाम् एको बहूनां यो विदधाति कामान् तत्कारणं सांख्ययोगाधिगम्यं ज्ञात्वा देवम् उच्यते सर्वपाशैः न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति एकोऽहंसो भुवनस्यास्य मध्ये स एवाग्निः सलिले सन्निविष्टः तमेव विदित्वा अतिमृत्युमेति नान्यः पन्था विद्यते यनाय स विश्वकृत् विश्वविदात्मयोनिः ज्ञः कालकारो गुणी सर्वविद्यः प्रधानक्षेत्रज्ञपतिर्गुणेशः संसारमोक्षस्थितिबन्धहेतुः। Up to 16 we chanted. We have 7 more. We will make the chanting of them tomorrow. Now, in our study, the 6th adhyaya started. So, षष्ठोऽध्यायः परमेश्वर की महिमा से सृष्टि चक्र का संचालन. So, in this chapter, to begin with, the topic covered is the entire Srishti is being sanchalita, means its manifestation and its modifications and movement further, and also the Srishti getting extinct in its pranaya. All of them are, please remember, not happening because of any of the individuals, even they are at the level of Brahmadeva also. They are all done by the Ishvara, the Parameshwara, the Jagadishwara, the Maheshwara, the Sarveshwara only, who is none other than the Parabrahma Tattva, which is Ananta Maya Shakti. Not only the Meaning of this Sanchalana means the management of the Srishti, Sthiti Laya. But during the Sthiti Kala, anything, everything that's happening in the universe, in the cosmos, has to be in the intelligence of the divine only. You know? If it is not known to that Ishvara, and while all those things are happening, if the Ishvara is not present everywhere, and if it is not his Shakti that the things are happening, if it becomes somebody else's Shakti, then the Ishvara Sarvagnatva, omniscience, Sarva Vyapakatva, the omnipresence, then Sarva Shaktimatva, the omnipotency, they will be questioned. Then he will not be an Ishvara. Then when there is no Ishvara, then it's all total Nastika Vada. Then entire Adhyatmikata, whether it is of Vedanta Brahma Tattva Vichara or of the devotion of worships and surrenders, all of them become null and void. All of them become futile. All of them become non-existent, meaningless, just their only stories. You know? Like I am giving this satsang to you. If it is not Ishvara's Shakti at every moment, and if it is not Ishvara's presence at every moment, and if it is not the Ishvara's wisdom, knowledge which is expressing, and if I am somebody or something other than him, and one side it is my arrogance, second side is what a bigger mistake, that Ishvara is finite now, because there is somebody who is there to limit him, to make him finite, like this Babaji here, which is not acceptable. Then ईश्वर का अर्थ ही वो अनंत है, सर्वथा उनको उनके साथ जुड़ता है, सर्वज्ञ, सर्वशक्तिमान, सर्वव्यापका, he has to be there. Clear? This is one thought. Second, the consequence of this knowledge is what? Therefore, in this world, whether something is done and achieved by me, you and I, individuals, or anybody in front of us, please, at the Vyavahara level, out of obligations and beautiful cohesiveness, coordination, and the beautiful living a life of social being, extend all the gratitudes to people. With the best of the attitudes, intentions. So too, if possible, even keep on reciprocating also. But heart in heart, please know that even an ant cannot move, or nothing in the world at the micro or macro can happen without the Lord. तो व्यवहार में सबको थैंक यू बोलो, बट वेदांत में जानो कि विदाउट भगवान कृपा नथिंग कैन हैपन. ओके, नाउ लिटिल हायर थिंग इज व्हाट is कि therefore anything happening in this world, the ones who attend to those happenings, even it is creation, maintenance and resolution, the one who is attending with all importance given to the things which are happening, he is called as an Ajnani or Samsara. Then who is a Jnani? Then who is a Sadhaka? The one whose attention is always on the divine through anything that is happening. So I am talking to you. So you are there seated, I know all that, and I have to talk on this Upanishad. So while at the empirical Vyavahara level this is going on, I must know that it is his presence in you. It is his presence which is making this lecture happen. So whichever in situation we are, if we are able to remember ourselves or remind ourselves of the divine, remember that is Adhyatmic Sadhana. On the other hand, even if we are seated in a so-called divine program, let us say a temple or a satsang, if we are reminded of anything other than the God, that means we are samsara. So this portion is so sublime that way, tries to tell to us that everything is happening not to make us forget God, everything is happening to remind us of the God. But we are not guided in this direction properly. We never trained ourselves. Therefore, we are so unintelligent or funny that everything we do in this world only to forget Bhagavan. And the consequence? The moment the Lord is forgotten, the ego is predominant. Ego is when predominant, all the likes, dislikes come. When the ego with likes, dislikes are there, first I suffer in my mind. Thereafter, definitely whoever comes in front of me, I give them nothing but the packets of misery only. दीपावली गिफ्ट मिजरी पैकेट ले लेना, मिश्री पैकेट देने का, मिजरी पैकेट देते. This is the most important topic in general in life, in Vedanta as particular, and this sixth valley which we are going to start. Okay? Then the next level of it is what? Ki one who is seeing what is happening and attending to that is a samsari. Then the one who is seeing the presence of divinity is a sadhaka. Two things we saw already. The third and most important and the last one is what? The one who is trying to identify with the divine by disowning his ownership with all these upadhis and achieves that is called a Siddha Purush. You understood? At the highest level, the meaning of it is what? Let the river with all its flooding waters move with its terrible waves, with its continuously disturbed waves. जो ऊपर से पानी नीचे आता है ना, इतने सारे उसमें बुदबुद होते हैं, तरंग होते हैं, the foam is there. In spite of all of that, I am able to see the water, then I have seen the tattva. In the same way, let everything happen in this world, but I am in the identity with the ultimate truth. If this sthiti we are able to reach out to, then we are Mukta Purusha. And the funniest part is what? When we are in the identity with that Paramatma Tattva, then everything is happening without happening. You know, like when I identify with myself and sit in front of the TV and watch the cinema, whatever, I know everything is happening, yet not happening. Because I am the reality and I am in the identity with that, and all of that on the screen is only projection, it is not real. Therefore, as a projection, it is appearing, and because it's projection, it is not real. And I am there as intact. As you do it on the in front of the TV screen, so happens in the Adhyatmika also. So therefore, the creation is not to make us forget God. Creation is to make us remind the God. Creation is to take us nearer and nearer to the God. That is why the magnanimity of this creation. Everything you see so divine, so beautiful, so blissful, so much giver of joy. Only that which is created by human being either creates the bhoga sakti or creates the jealousy or creates the quarrel. When you see a sky, do you feel any of them ki chalo ghar le jayenge thoda sky? When you see a forest, when you see a ocean, when you see a river, when you see a beautiful parrot or any tota, titli, anything you see, you only have seen joy. Because all of that is divine, making us remember the divinity through them and also acknowledge our understanding about the divine power of the God, infinite power of the God. हर चीज है दुनिया में. When you go to that jungle, see that variety of trees and birds and animals and all. When you go to the water, see that aquatics there. Everywhere you see the magnanimity, all of that reminds us or should remind us that the divine is so beautiful and so powerful. And seeing that, you get the happiness. So Bhagavan gave us the upadhis and gave the world in front of us to see him through them and be in happy mood. What we do, we see the world, first forget God, then we get attached to the world and we become very selfish and egoistic. And as a bhogi, we involve in the world in such a manner that our peace is disturbed, world is disturbed. So therefore, the world should remind us God, the world should take us nearer to the God. The third is, we should merge one with the Lord. For this purpose, Jagat is there, not for making us forget Paramatma and remember only the Jagat and get lost. So this is how it is. Parameshwar ki mahima se Srishti Chakra ka sanchalan. In this topic, these many things we have to be aware of. Correct? Now, coming to the subject, in the Sambandha Bhashya, it's a connection between the last mantra of the earlier 5th chapter and this chapter's the first mantra. So, in the last mantra, the last word was Kala Sargakaram Devam. The Lord is the one who is the Sargakara, creator of Kala, all the facets, Kalas, we have seen Pranadi. So here he says, in the Sambandha Bhashya, there are a variety of philosophers who talk about various things to be the hetu for the creation. ठीक है ना, सृष्टि के हेतु. How come you are saying the Ishvara is hetu for the सृष्टि? So the simple answer given by the authority for all of us for the knowledge, the Shruti Mata here is what? They are all the people who are, because they are not thinking, not deeply understanding, they are in the Parimukhya Manasthiti. Then the state of delusion That's why they give all these things the credit for creation. Whereas the fact is what? Even the existence of those so-called things, which you name them as a cause of creation, are existing because of Paramatma. One way you can say Paramatma through them making the creation. The moment this is said, don't think those things are other than Paramatma or independent and Paramatma is dependent on them. ऐसा नहीं सोच. It's only stages. The Bhagavan himself becomes the, what do you say, the variety of Kala, the Desha, Aneka Devata. He only all of them. In one stage of the creation and his expression, he only expresses as them and through them he does it. And like in some of the places, the one-man army will be there. Many people are not there. So at the time of production, he only does the production. Like कोई होटल में एक ही बंदा होता है. If you order them something, he only makes it. So at that time, he is a creator. Then he only gives that as serves to the people also. Thereafter, he himself collects the money bill also. कभी कभी दिखता है कि नहीं आपको? तो एक ही बंदा. Him way Ishvara alone is all these Devata Swarupas. Refuse to accept the ignorance of the mind. Refuse to accept the, what do you call, the authority of the senses when they say we are the ones. And refuse to accept the statements of ignorance made by the people. That there is somebody independent apart from other than that Parameshwara, that he can do this or that. Nobody can do anything without him. And none of my thousands and millions of cells that are there in my Sthula Sharira can function without him. Nor my thousands of thoughts that are gurgling can function without him. And not only in me individual, in you the individual, the entire cosmos. Actually, with this knowledge deepened, when we look at the entire universe and cosmos, we see everything is him and his Leela. Him and his Leela. सब कुछ वही है और उन्हीं का सब कुछ लीला है. In that knowledge, I and mine goes away. When the I and mine goes away, you and yours also goes away. When me and mine and you and yours, these two go away, sets of the things. Maya Mora Tora Tari, this called Maya. When it goes away, where is the problem in the world? But then, for this small thing to click, see, for you and I who are studying Upanishads, for us only, how much time it takes. Dekho? How many of the listenings or sittings they are required. And through every of the class, in every of the session, the entire Guru Parampara is trying to empower us in this wisdom. See the divine and see the divine only. There's nothing other than it for us to see. Why are you projecting and suffering? Just because you are given the capacity to imagine, capacity to project, you go on doing it and create problem to yourself and others. These sublime things click. Then the consequence of them are so beautiful, so many. If I put every one of them in line, they run into hundreds. One of them is what the person will be in the present. Second, he will be seeing divinity. Third, because of this knowledge, he will be fully aware at every moment of what he has to do as a responsibility with the upadhis. And even an iota of I, ego, mine, and for me, aham, mama, mahyam, me, mine, and for me, never ever flash to him even in dream. These are all the glorious experiences of divine in and outside will be seen if a person digests these great wisdoms. Think about it. So it's a very, very powerful topic. So, Parameshwar ki mahima se Sushti Chakra ka sanchal. I'm just again seeing the Sambandha Bhasha. Nanu Anye Kaladaya Karanamiti Manyante. So many people are there, Chintakas, the thinkers, the contemplations, they say time, etc. are the cause for this society, for the whole universe. Sushti Sthiti Laya. Tat Katham Punaha Ishwarasya Kalasarga Karatvam. Then there may doubt come in somebody's mind when they listen to the last mantra of the last chapter. If Kaladi are said to be the cause, then how come here in this Upanishad the Kala Sarga Ityadi is Ishvara, that's why it is said. So, Kala Sarga Karatvam Puna Ishvarasya Iti Katham. ईश्वर का कैसा हो सकता है सृष्टि आदि इति आशंक्य. Somebody may have the doubt. Keeping that in mind, aha, our great Shwethashwathara Rishiji is giving us the clarity. देखो, when you study Upanishad, the Gita, we are getting authentic knowledge clearly, completely, unambiguous. So the authentic knowledge, the complete knowledge, the unambiguous knowledge. And knowledge, when we talk about only truth, second is its manifestation. Sadvastu or उसका इसके अलावा there is nothing knowledge. Okay, now the mantra is Swabhameke kavayo vadanti kalam tathanye parimukhyamanah devasyaisha mahimatu loke yenedam bhramyate brahmachakram. So, eke kavayah vadanti swabhavam. Some of the Kavi, the Krantadarshi, the subtle visionaries, they say that Swabhavam is the Hetu for the whole Jagat. But it's just nature. There's nobody called as Ishvara behind it, not required at all. So in this language they talk. We'll explain all of that through Bhashyam. Kalam tatha anye, others say Kalam. The Kala is the one in which the things are coming, they're modifying, they're dying. So Swabhavam is Prakriti, Mula Prakriti. Kalam is the time. To both of them, the Kalavadins and then Swabhavavadins. The Rishi Shwethashwathara clearly says, Parimukhya Manaha. They are fully, unambiguously, 100% deluded. Don't be confused about them. Also, Parimoha mein hai. Parimukhya Manaha. Two means in compared to what they said wrong thing, the right thing is what? Devasya Esha Mahima Loke. You know, Esha Mahima Loke Devasya. The entire thing is Mahima, and all that Mahima, the glory, the divinities of the Deva, the Ishvara only. Yena idam brahmyate brahmachakram. He is the one who is. See, we all talk about Srushti Chakra. We talk about the Kala Chakra. Intelligently, Rishis, there is no Srushti Chakra, Kala Chakra or Maya Chakra. Everything is Brahma Chakra. Pure Brahman. Without himself, modified even an iota, expressing as this whole universe with all its wonders as an entertainment. Now, even this, when it is understood, everything Ishvara's play and the reality is intact. It will happen when only one way, I believe, I don't know, maybe there are others, that continuously when we are with Shraddha in Shastra, Guru and Ishvara, going on studying these Upanishadic Shastras, those subtle understandings and their acceptances start happening. So, just be in that mode. Tomorrow we'll study this mantra with Bhashyam. Enjoy your Deepavali today. Om 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 Purnamadah. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. There we are, friends. See, just 5 minutes Gita if